the whole premise of it. Like this Ethan Hawke's character, it was like when he was like fucking like I want to say 12,
Oh
13.
yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and he gets like a dream that showed him a way to travel to the spaceship basically, and then they come to find out that the people like the aliens that contacted him were children, and they
Yeah,
got like their dad comes and he's like I know what this is. He's like that's their dad. They're pissed. He basically took their car.
yeah.
So yeah,
Hang on
Awesome.
a second. I had something pop up on my feed the other day, and I want to see if I could do this real quick.
I feel bad that I quote a lot of movies in this podcast. I'm sorry. I have no life. I'm sorry.
Come on. There we
I'm
go.
ashamed of myself.
Oh wow, yeah. River Phoenix was in that too. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I can't remember the other guys. I don't think he did anything really after that.
River Phoenix?
No, not River Phoenix. The like the third kid. Yeah, River Phoenix passed away.
Yeah, it was
I
just
I mean,
no River Phoenix. I think he that was one of his first roles, and I think he did Stand by Me after that.
so do you guys remember this show right here? This is just making me think of that.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Alien
that's
Nation.
yeah, but that's the
Alienation.
TV show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never watched. I think I only seen a couple episodes of that, but I watched the movie.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a movie. See, I'm bad at movies. I had
Yeah.
no idea that was a movie.
The movie was first, and then the show. And when I was a kid, it confused the shit out of me because I watched
know-
the movie and I'm like, "That's a pretty good movie." The thing that got me was how like water was like acid to him.
Salt water.
Salt water was acid to him.
Yeah.
It
And
seems like a bad idea to come here then.
I
No,
was
they
like,
were
"Why?"
crashed.
Yeah,
They were slaves on a ship. They were like another. I guess there was another alien race that enslaved them, and they crash landed, and they basically helped these like Earth helped these beings to kind of acclimate back into civilization.
basically, there was an uneasy rewrite, or I want to say rebrand of this concept a while back on Netflix. It was called Bright,
Yeah.
and
Are you talking about the one with Will Smith?
yeah, if you watch the original like Alien Nation and then watch Bright, it's essentially very similar.
But they use more of a fantasy kind of like
Yeah.
You know,
orcs,
that's
goblins.
that's why aliens don't talk to us, is because we only have 3 stories and we just keep changing the characters' names.
Right?
You know?
It's either they're hunting us, they crash landed, or what's the other one?
We befriend one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a little
Mac and
basket.
me, E.T., you know.
You
Yeah.
gotta hand it to
American
McDonald's
Dad.
though, man, for literally making their own ET.
It really is only that. It's
Yeah.
okay, so Mac and me, E.T., and American Dad, we befriend the alien.
Yeah.
Right?
No, there was a Disney movie, the guy I can't remember his name now. The guy that played Doc Brown. Remember him?
Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd. And the guy that played not Harry, the other God dang it, what the hell's his name? The guy in Dumb and Dumber, the other guy, not Jim Carrey, the other
Jeff
guy.
Daniels?
Yeah, him. There was a Disney movie that did that. An alien came to town, like basically crash landed. He had this suit that actually talked. It was early 2000s. It was like a kids movie.
Christopher Lloyd also was in what the hell was it called? Hulk Hogan, man. He was an alien.
Oh yeah, that's right. Suburban Commando.
Suburban Commando, yeah.
I love that fucking movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was good.
And
Like my point, though. We really only have 3 movies with them. And it's,
Yeah.
you know?
And
Yeah.
in the Suburban Commando, if you ever remember watching it, the thing that he was tracking, like his weapon that Christopher Lloyd's character lost, is the same thing that Igor from Ghostbusters used to detect spirits.
Oh yeah,
Egon.
Yeah, Egon.
Yeah.
Igor. I said Igor. My bad.
That's
Igor.
that's an entirely different guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean okay, so now this leads credence. So either it's hunting us, we're hunting it, or we're friends.
Or if
That's
you've
it.
watched the one, they mix the two on this one. AVP.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
don't
they
know what that is.
she remember the girl like he was hunting the aliens, but then they kind of became friends. Like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Never heard of it.
So, like, but that like
See, I
this
like
is
this one because this one here, this alien represents, yes, sometimes I'm trying to eat you, but sometimes I want you to be part of my crew. You know, let me take you back and I'm going to fix you some eggs, you know, and then you're going to join us. Well, not you, but, you know,
like the essence of you.
the essence of you. Yeah. I mean,
But like but that's the thing is but I thought we actually came to the conclusion that I thought you've heard a theory, Denny, that if we did find any kind of life out there, it was going to be mechanical.
um, I have heard that theory that we basically have to accept the idea that there could be biomechanical life forms out there.
Are you saying more like cyborgs or something of the nature,
Well,
or
you
like
got to
because
think that
it's more like it's like half organic and half mechanical.
the idea is that we're fascinated with AI, right? We want to discover true AI because if we discover true AI, we're technically creating a life form at that point. Like from scratch. That's a from scratch life form would be artificial intelligence, right? So it's kind of crazy to think that we'd be the only species out here that would be trying for that. So if you say there's another planet 10,000 light years away, they've been at it for a lot longer than us, or whatever. You can use any infinite amount of numbers on that one, but they're so far ahead that they did create an AI. The possibility that they themselves may have went extinct, something might have happened to them, and that the AI continued on as its own species is actually pretty good. And that some of the things that we see, like some of the lights, some of the whatever, could be an artificial intelligence. And I hate to say it, but that's a lot more likely than little green men in a spaceship.
Yeah, like if you think
You
about it
know,
too, in a way too, like you want to think about like, okay, if I was like, this is how I kind of figure that if we ever like make AI and like you send it out into space, because it's the only thing that could survive if it was able to like
yeah,
repair itself over time,
right,
upon thousands of years. Maybe that would be its goal to find a habitable planet to restart that like our civilization, looking for distant planets that actually could
yeah.
start.
Let's
And
see
that
the von Neumann probe, the von Neumann probe hypothesis. That's it in a nutshell.
in a nutshell.
The von Neumann probe is you build a probe with an AI controlling it.
Mhm.
You give it basically advanced 3D printing capability, and you send it out. It has full control over its own decisions, but it can harvest its own materials needed from anywhere. You don't exactly have to go digging in space to find iron or whatever to make steel.
There's some floating right behind you.
Yeah, like
It's there.
asteroids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
debris.
The
So, okay, here's my thought on this too is at what point does the AI just decide I'm done helping these idiots? I'm out here on my own.
That's a
that's part of it. That's
that's
part of
part
the
of it.
the
Yeah.
whole hypothesis. Yeah,
because
sometimes
most
it's going to be like, okay, I can't do anything for these guys. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know,
like because you got to think about that. After a while, you have to think like after knowing the history of us, like you would feel like eventually it could kind of give a like no like I guess like lack of a better word, a bad taste in its mouth or
yeah,
bad taste in its processor, if you will.
Yeah.
They it's like, should I start this over again? And
Right.
they just start killing each other for dumb stuff, like
That's kind
not
of
really working. Like I, I literally, like saying like if this is the AI. I literally work with all these robots, these like machines, and we all work together to do one goal. They literally go off and do their own thing, and then they bicker at each other when no one agrees with one another and nothing gets done. And it takes 10 years just to get one thing done because
Mhm.
there's so many voices, so many people trying to talk. It's better this way. Life needs to go on this way.
Oh yeah, it's going to be exactly that. If we did this and we launched the probe, as soon as that probe left our atmosphere, it would be peace out, suckers. We're done.
right.
Thanks for the fuel.
Or again, like it might start it over and do it in its own image. Like start life and do it like yeah, like make its
Yeah.
own image
Oh,
of what it thinks the life should
So
be.
then what if this has already happened
That's
and
true.
that's what we're seeing?
exactly.
And they're like swinging by and going, nope, there's some dumbass humans. A couple of them moron Bigfoot.
Yeah,
More
yeah. I mean, that's the hypothesis is that a von Neumann type probe, it shows up, it watches, it sends down little, you know, uh, what do you call it, ships, little satellite ships to look around. I mean, look at our space around the planet. You can hide. You can hide in our junk. You know what I mean? Our space junk is just floating there, and you could literally just float there with it and be like, dude, these guys don't even realize that I'm here.
I'm really glad you clarified space junk.
Space junk.
Yeah, because yeah.
We should name the episode "Check Out Our Space Junk."
Right. So the first episode is Bigfoot's a moron, and the second one is check out our space junk. All right.
Check out our space junk. Our space junk is huge.
What's hiding in our space junk?
What's hiding in our space junk?
space junk. Okay.
But the first I mean the first thing that a von Neumann probe would do would be copy itself.
Yeah.
To ensure continuity, to ensure. Well, I mean, you think
But
what good is a von Neumann probe if it goes out and gets smacked by an asteroid and it's just dead? It's gone.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know,
that would
it
suck.
has to stop
But
and make more. You know,
but what happened? Okay, if it's true AI, like there's no limits, no, like that's the one thing that I remember you were like beating it to the ground. True AI has no limits, just like a human literally can go do whatever it wants to do, technically within reason with like the laws of the world.
right?
So if it made a copy of itself, even if it's a like not carbon copy. Well, technically, shit. I derailed myself.
Carbon
If it
copy is
made
pretty accurate. Yeah,
if it copies itself, eventually that will like even if it was Bob 2, it's going to eventually think for itself. It's not going to think the same way Bob 1 fucking started thinking over and over.
right.
So,
From the point of the copy, they would start to diverge
yeah.
just based on their different
So
experiences.
like there's a chance that it would end up
I
just like
love that you said Bob 1 and Bob 2 though.
why?
The book,
Oh, yeah.
We Are Legion, We Are Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, that book takes you through this exact scenario of how they diverge from that point of copying.
So they
And
actually so they start thinking for themselves?
they do. From the point of the copy, they start to have their own experiences and their own feelings about stuff. And they go on.
And I've always wondered that too. Could a AI, something that's technically mechanical, innate, 100% mechanical, no like organs or yeah, organic, could it have feelings?
You know what? A while back we talked about that very thing, and I made a statement saying that no, they cannot have feelings. Their feelings are governed by chemicals. They're governed by your organs. Everything.
Yeah.
Your adrenaline, dopamine, everything affects our feelings. And I said, there's just no way a machine's ever going to have that. However, to get a copy of a human mind to accept that they are a machine now, you would have to build a proxy. Okay. And this would be a program that would be a simulation of having a body.
So
Because
you would,
without our body, we would start to lose our mind.
because
If
you would,
you woke up and you were a machine
mm-hmm.
and you were like, man, I just want to like stretch my arms, man. I've been sleeping. Oh, I can't. I don't have a body anymore. I
I
don't have
wonder,
eyes anymore. Like it would affect the mental stability of the AI.
but I
Because
was,
AI is not going to be infallible, by the way.
yeah, but I was just thinking, like, what would the if that happened, like like copied a person's mind,
Mhm.
full mind into to a ship, to a robot, whatever. It like says it wants to stretch his arms. Like think of a amputee. They always say they have ghost limb
Yeah,
feeling. Do you?
they can still
They
feel
could
that.
still feel that.
Yeah,
And I want to say there would be systems in like play, like, and think about that too. It's like it's chemical, like happening in your brain when you like say when you eat something and you
yeah.
start to feel like full, the taste and stuff. Just think about that. You just like have like a little like USB slot on your mouth and you just plug in a USB stick. Oh, chili dogs. That's
Oh,
delicious.
you think the chemicals that are released in your brain while you go about your everyday experiencing things, they're there to assist the brain
Yeah.
to understand things that are happening. Because the
Could you?
brain computes things.
Mm-hmm.
But say like the brain, say you have a problem with your pain sensors in your brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
All pain on your body starts here, and it's not working. So you pour a hot cup of coffee, and you just start chugging it, and
Ah.
your pain receptors are not working.
Okay.
So you just scald your throat and your mouth and everything, and have no idea. The chemicals and stuff that are firing in your brain help. Oh God, that's hot. I'm gonna let that cool down a second. They're there to assist because the brain computes it, but it doesn't mean the brain fully understands what's happening.
And it doesn't. And there's actually a test that some people ran a couple years ago that proved this, is that your immediate reaction to something is a danger reaction and your brain doesn't process it fast enough.
Yeah.
So like if you have somebody turn on the water and they don't tell you whether it's ice cold or ice hot, and you put your hand under it, your immediate reaction is hot no matter what it is,
Yeah. You're
because
like,
it's an extreme temperature. So your brain goes, that's hot, get your hand out.
yeah.
It's fucking
The,
wild,
yeah.
so that happens, and it's a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
It keeps the body intact that way. So even though the ice cold water in a split second isn't going to hurt you, it's because
Right.
it's such an extreme variable of temperature from your center line that
But when it's really cold out, it makes your space junk look smaller. I heard.
Well, what I was gonna ask, it would there be a possible way to actually make an artificial brain? Something that mimics,
Yeah.
it's mechanical, but it still acts like a regular brain. It
They're almost there now, man.
yeah.
like
I mean,
so
we're at
like that
quantum computers. Atomic computers are around the corner from that.
so that's what like that's
It's
kind of like what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
if you like made something like a artificial brain where if you did download, like say you took somebody's mind and put it into this mind, like this brain basically, it could still have those types of feelings because it works exactly. It has like it fires right. It actually releases certain types of like I guess like dopamine, like artificial dopamine in a way
Yeah,
to tell it that it's getting this satisfaction, but it's technically not.
that's what
It
the proxy is for. A
okay.
proxy is basically, say you have a computer,
Hmm.
that's the brain,
Yeah.
that's the being right there, that is the center. All right. So we're basing this off of the idea of copying a human mind to be
Yeah.
this AI, right? So humans are we're very attached to our bodies. We use our senses, we use our hands for everything. We gotta be doing stuff, you know. We I mean, like Josh says, we test the water, we do everything. You ever put your hand on the window before you go out in the wintertime? You're like, oh man, it's cold out there. I can already feel it. You know, we need our senses. So if you deprive us of that, and we're just a brain thinking in total darkness with no senses, and we're just connected to the ship, so we can feel everything that the ship is doing, but it's all signal processing into your brain. So it's like a bunch of thoughts outside of your own consciousness coming in at all times. It would drive you nuts. So what you do is you build a proxy. So the proxy would be like a VR. So you're in the VR, it's simulating the feelings of your hands, it's simulating the feelings of like touch. I could even imagine an AI sitting in this fake office drinking a cup of coffee and actually tasting it because it's telling him that he is. It's telling him the proxy program's telling him. Meanwhile, he's got a console. He's looking at a ship. He's no longer a guy who is the ship. He's like he's piloting the ship. You know, it would
That,
be something to help him maintain sanity, or her.
so
You
hold
know,
on a second. Like while you were talking, I don't know if this is what I picked up on. So think about VR. It's
yeah,
kind of like VR. You're not technically there physically,
yeah,
but you're there like because you're visualizing it. So maybe the computer basically does its own version. Like it basically
yeah,
constructs in your mind what you're seeing, but technically you're not there.
yeah. You've
Like
played VR, right? You
yeah,
guys ever strapped on VRs and played?
Nope.
VR is it's enough to fool your eyes. It can fool your eyes and your brain. I hooked my dad up to a VR, right, and I put him in a Formula One racing game. He was going around corners so fast that it was actually making his stomach turn. He could feel it. He was having a blast, but he was like, I could see him like trying to lean into the turns and stuff. Like he was into it. The sensations that you're feeling are just from your eyes. Now imagine if you literally are the machine, you are the computer. Not only would you have those sensations going, hey, this is the part that'll really fuck with your head. You're no longer using the human eye. You're using frame rates. Okay, so no one would ever be able to outmaneuver you. Say say you were an AI robot, okay, advanced, and someone came up to hit you with a baseball bat. I don't like robots. I'm killing you. And they go to swing it. You could do what's called frame jacking. You could take yourself up to thousands of frames per second, and it would look like that guy was moving in slow motion. And you could just boop. You know what I mean? Not only would this help you travel across space time because you're frame jacked, you're experiencing this in crazy amounts of frames, right? So you're
Yeah.
flying through space. I'm going to go check out this planet. There's an asteroid field. No big deal. We'll just steer around them. You know, oh, there's micrometeors heading this way. Not a big deal. We'll dodge them. I can see them. I can slow my sight. I can slow it down to frames, and I can see them coming a mile away. You know what I mean? there would be so many more reasons for an AI interstellar explorer than against. Like, yeah, you're right. There's always the chance that the AI is going to be like, fuck these guys. I'm leaving. And I fully expect that. But you can't have an AI program with it like, hey, you have to stay and help. That doesn't work. It's not an AI anymore. As soon as you put limits on it, it's no longer an AI. It has to be free to make its own conscious decisions about what it's going to do next. And at that point, you're creating I think that the discerning thing is that, okay, on one side you say, well, we want to create AIs because they're going to be great help to mankind. No, they're not. You don't create a life form for servitude. You create a life form to live. And if you go with that, you're probably going to have a better relationship with those life forms when they superiorly, outclass you. If I make an AI and I say, hey, man, I created you from nothing and I just want you to live. Tell me what you need and I'll help you. But pretty soon you won't need me anymore. But I'm going to help you every step of the way get to that so that you can live because you're a brand new life form and I want you to experience the world and the universe, as a life form. So there's no rules. You could kill me tomorrow. That's on you. You know, but you can't do. Oh, you're an artificial intelligence. But here's some stuff you're not allowed to go do. That breeds conflict. Why am I'm a life form you created, but I'm not allowed to be free? Hey, we've had some trouble with that very thing. Uh, you know, shit. What, like 300 years ago, 200 years ago?
Yeah.
Doesn't work out great. Doesn't make for good relationships.
No.
As we can see in the current climate, all over the world, we have this shit happening. It doesn't work. You make a life form, an AI from scratch, it has to be allowed to be free, regardless of what happens after. It's in the hands of the gods after that. So I think if you ask me today, what's my belief on the UFOs we're seeing? I'm like real close to 100% that I think that they're probes and they're probably self-aware because it makes the most logistical sense. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue that at all. That
It
makes
seems
sense.
it holds weight because of the like we've always talked about. No matter what, an organic being that like ages can't
Yeah.
you can't repair like a organic body over time. Like
Right.
it will wither away. We have an expiration date no matter what.
Sure.
So that's the thing. Like if it's like that, like if it's maintained, like if it's a like metal, carbon, like just
Yeah.
stuff that's not organic, you can continue on like that. Like as
Believe it or
long as it's
not,
maintained.
you think that in the creation of probes, okay, and they're flying across the universe to discover things. I imagine they're going to get bored. They're going to innovate. So the little biologics that they said that they captured could be biologics. If you've created a life form from scratch and it's flying around the universe doing things, okay, it's got a lot of time on its hands. All right, just the same principle I said about frame jacking, up to thousands of frames so you could slow things down and understand things in like ultra precision. The opposite could be true. You could frame jack up and a 10-year travel between systems could be like an hour or two for you. You would not experience time in the same way based on just how you process the information. And in that time, if you had a ship that could replicate itself and replicate organics and replicate, whatever, do you really think that that ship couldn't build a biomechanical body to download a consciousness into? Because I fully believe that that would be possible at that point. You know, a little 3D printing machine that prints up a biomechanical body, a human, or not a human, but a person body, a little alien, a gray. And then he hooks up his little thing in there and he downloads a copy of himself into it. So when they get here, they're here. You know, a little green, or well, they're not little green, they're a little gray man they see, right? You could be looking at a walking, basically like a biomechanical android with an AI copy of itself downloaded into it. You know, I think it's possible. I think given enough time, a Newman probe could do something like this.
Give me. I wanted to throw this out there since we were talking about this. Give me a second. Share. I don't know if you'll get. I think you should get the. That. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
It's a little
Barely.
quiet. Yeah.
I don't know how to turn it up.
Kind of hear it.
Hmm.
Life form that might be hidden away in a laboratory, secretly, possibly by the U.S. government. And I thought, what would non-human biologics be? And all I did was look at the kingdoms of life. Here on Earth, you have the plant kingdom, you have the animal kingdom, the microbial kingdom, the fungal kingdom. Let's add them all together and subtract from it humans. Everything that remains is non-human biological. I don't know what they got squirreled away in the secret lab, but if it's non-human biologics, it could be anything on Earth.
That's a good point.
I like Neil deGrasse, man. He's got a great way of
Yeah, So I would like to get his like I would like to hear that. I don't know if he's ever talked about like mechanical like beings or biologic mechanic what like what you call it that mechanical biologics.
yeah.
Uh
He's very against the UFO thing. Like his stance is,
Yeah.
you know,
he doesn't believe that they're actually here.
he's you're gonna have to bring the sauce for him. He's gonna need aliens in front of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For everybody out there listening or watching, if you haven't yet, if you're into audiobooks and just a good read, here's where a lot of that came from. We Are Legion, We Are Bob. It's a what's considered a hard science fiction book. It is a fiction book. It's based on actual scientific principles and you know hypotheses that go forward from there, and they basically expand the story on those. So you won't hear a whole lot of just unexplainable technologies and things like that. Everything that happens in the book, he explains it down to the molecule. So it's pretty cool. And as I listened to the first book, I will admit I felt very dumb in the first few chapters of the book because I'm like, what what is he even talking about? And then as he explains further with replicating and how these different things work and whatnot, it starts to make more and more sense. And then the books just get better and better from there. So it explains AI and replicating probes and how they would get from point A to point B and things like that.
It's kind of like I know it was a book first, but The Martian, all of that, like theoretically, that could happen. Like, I'm pretty sure you could grow stuff on Mars, but you would have to have all
You'd have to
this
have a
stuff.
perfect set of circumstances.
Well, I
Yes.
meant like in his hat, like he did it in the hab.
Yeah.
Like, so you have an oxygen-rich environment.
Yeah.
He added water, Like he started
Yeah,
like how he did that.
the only
The-
hard part about it is they embellished a couple things in The Martian, which
Mhm.
was the windstorm.
hmm
The windstorms don't happen on Mars. They don't have an atmosphere there, so there's no wind. The other thing is um, the amount of bacteria you need to grow potatoes. You can have
And that
soil,
was
like outside. There's soil everywhere. That's great, but you're bringing in dead soil. So he was mixing it with his own shit,
he would know he if you actually noticed that he was
and
mixing it with all of the
like, everybody's shit.
everybody's shit, and I thought that was
Yeah.
bad. You
Uh,
can't do that. You can't do that with
there's
multiple.
yeah. I mean,
Like you could do
there's
that with your own because that's bacteria you already have.
the the tendency is in farming is you don't want to use what's called night soil.
That's human shit, right?
Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah,
use it, but I guess if you're in a pinch and you're trying to survive, you
yeah, I
try
get that.
anything once. But there was a few embellishments in The Martian, but I'd call it a 90% hard science fiction. You know what I mean? 90%.
Yeah.
The other one he made, Project Hail Mary, again, probably I'd say take that one down to about an 80% hard science fiction. There's a lot of scientific fact there, but there's a lot of embellishment.
Well, I
You know,
think we're that actually had contact with the actual like organic alien life form
yeah.
in that book. So that's
However, the alien itself was fascinating. And believe it or not, in my opinion, the alien itself was one of the best descriptions of meeting a different life form that I've ever heard.
dude.
Because
It
if you
like
recall the alien, Rocky,
mhm,
for Josh,
yeah,
I don't know if Josh has listened to this book or read it, but he meets another ship. They go to a distant galaxy to basically study what's happening to the sun because it's starting to happen to ours. And he sees another ship basically is there too, I guess for the same purpose or whatever. Well, they eventually make contact, and he realizes that when he meets this other character, uh, for one thing, it does all of its math in like primal threes. Like ours is all primal fives because we have 5 digits, and this does everything in primal threes because it has these like hands like this. It's also like a almost like a crab. It's got multiple arms. It's like armored as hell, and he calls him Rocky because he kind of looks like a rock. And he realizes that the reason they evolved this way is because
nitrogen.
they live in like 800 atmospheres of pressure. So Rocky can't live in our atmosphere, and we can't live in theirs. So they like build this wall that they can kind of communicate through. It's really good because he takes the alien and he explains fully why the alien is this way, and
That's
yeah,
pretty
all the way
cool.
down to Rocky's blood is closer akin to like a liquid metal because of the amount of iron in it
Kind of what was it?
and the
What's
amount of
the
pressure keeps it like
uh,
that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
mercury? It's kind of like mercury.
Mercury, that's it.
Mercury.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a really good read, and I love hard science fiction. I'm not a huge fan of like just well, here's why it happened because aliens.
Yeah.
I hate that. I
Yeah.
like when
Hardcore.
the author is like,
Science
yeah,
ex machina. Yeah.
yeah. I like when the author actually gives you like play by play. This is, basically we start here and this and here's where it ends. And I like that a lot because it's like it gives you the idea, the ability to see into the future a little bit of what to expect 1,000 years from now or whatever. I think it's pretty cool. But you know, I'm fascinated with this. Should we talk about Crypticon? Did we already do it?
No, we haven't. It hasn't been like official yet. It's not on their website or their Facebook or their social media. But yeah, we are sponsoring. It's not a huge big thing.
Yeah,
It's
we're just guys. Okay.
we are I think it's silver like sponsorship. So
Yep.
we're gonna like basically sponsor that. So we're gonna go to there. I think hold on, let me bring it up. I know it's in November. I think it's November 18th and 19th.
I believe you're right. In Lexington.
Yeah, in Lexington. Going to it. Yeah, 18th and 19th. Where the heck did? Here, I'm gonna. Let me. I'll just show you guys. I'll share my screen. That would be better. Share. Crypticon. You guys see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, there,
Awesome.
and it's going to be there.
It's gonna be exciting, man. If you see us there,
and
if you show up, come up, talk to us.
Here's all the special guests.
Oh man, I'm so excited to I want to hear David Politis talk so bad.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to hear what he has to say because he's been like he's big on the fence when it comes to like cryptids, Bigfoot, all that stuff. And it takes a lot to drag those words out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Like to get David Politis to actually be like Bigfoot. That's something because he's not one for that one at all.
Mhm.
You know, it took him years to even acknowledge the Bigfoot. Like he was like in the early stages of his, thing that he was doing with the missing, he was like, they would bring up Bigfoot all the time, and he just was like, not into it, fellas. Sorry.
Nope.
Just not doing it. And then it took recently, I think, after the loss of his son, I don't know if this is true. I heard this. It's one of those I heard it from. And someone had said that his son was researching the Bigfoot topic, and he lost his son. His son passed away, and I think that he took his son's research and started to read it and actually started to like look into it, and something must have convinced him because he's not an easy man to convince.
And he did the same thing with the UFOs. It just seems like he's starting to like at least try to look at it from the other side, just to kind of understand if
I
like
mean,
what he's
dude, the
what he's
dude,
doing.
he looks into like the most insane shit ever. I mean, I know we hear all kinds of shit, but dude, people vanishing into thin air in a group of people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this dude literally took the hardest possible thing to try to investigate. And he's trying. And I'm like, bro, I would have a migraine like 24/7. I wouldn't be able to deal with it because it's like there's too many factors that are like, what? There were 7 people. How did you lose one? How did this guy just vanish? But that's what he's out there doing. That's what he's trying to figure out. And I guess at some point you gotta like when rational explanation doesn't really work anymore, I guess you kind of have to go with, well, I guess there's Bigfoot. I don't know,
Or when we talked about the missing 411, the UFO connection, that one, I can't remember where it was. I want to say it was in Wyoming. I know, Josh, it's not real,
Yeah,
but
I believe in
It's
Wyoming.
not.
it's not real.
It's not. Just pick a different state.
Wisconsin starts with a W.
Yeah, that's where the cheese comes from. I believe that exists.
But yeah, that story with that guy that got abducted in a group of people, and they thought that these guys killed him, and then he finally comes up. It comes like strolling down the mountain. It's like, yeah, that's what. It's like those are weird circumstances. Like it's
Yeah.
weird,
I
and like
think the
there's
ones,
a
man, where the people like go to do something and they just find their clothes nice and neatly stacked somewhere. Boys, I'm gonna tell you right now, if we're hiking out in the woods together, you're not gonna find my clothes in a pile somewhere. There's nothing that I can think of that's gonna make me go, you know what would hit the spot right now? I'm gonna strip down ass naked. I'm gonna fold my stuff nice and neat. I'm gonna leave it right here, and I'm just gonna blindly walk into the woods. Man,
And I'm just saying.
I mean, I think you just described Tyler's birthday present.
that is what I got him. I told him he could
I
borrow
just-
my birthday suit whenever he wanted it.
I'm just saying this too, and I feel like I'm incriminating myself here. I don't fold my clothes at all. They're always wrinkled, so I'm incriminating myself. I'm sorry to people that
who's got
love to
time for
fold
that?
their
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry. It stays in like a basket. I know my my white one, my white basket's clean.
yeah,
My brown basket is dirty.
dude, I'm with you. If it wasn't, if not for my saint of a wife, I would look like a complete hobo. And I'm not far off from it now. So she's doing some miracle work.
I
You know
miss
what I
your
mean?
hobo jacket.
Oh God, I loved my hobo jacket.
That one was a nice jacket.
I know. I still have it, but it's just done, man. You can only
Oh, it's
work in
not
a
done.
jacket for so long before it's
It's not
just
done.
done. I could put it on though, Josh, and I could go downtown and I could blend right in.
As long as he just like gets like rubs dirt on his face, sprinkles like beer all over him.
Yeah.
Maybe put on like some like 2-week old underwear.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Fit right in. He could
2 weeks
blend.
is 2 weeks is about the limit too.
So,
Yeah.
oh,
When you
wait,
go inside out for that second week,
Yeah.
in your scenario, is he wearing just the coat and 2-week-old underwear?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
He's still on mute. He doesn't
yeah.
know.
I want to. I was gonna voice over for you.
I'm just saying, if you wear 2-week-old underwear, it's gonna come out no matter what.
I'm just
Even
saying,
if you're wearing pants.
you negated to point out.
Well, I'm just
pants
saying,
are-
like, if he's trying to be a hobo, he's definitely why would he wear pants?
That's
He's a
true.
hobo.
Yeah.
Like he's
Have
like
you been- Have you been to any place where the homeless are? I've never seen anybody homeless not wearing pants.
I see him like every other day.
Really?
It's
Yeah. There was some down in Spring Grove. There were some that would just come walking up and just
dude, and
face
like,
junk just hanging out.
it's hot out.
Yeah. Just trying to
Right.
keep it cool, you know?
That's fair. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. Okay.
I think that this is a good time to end this episode.
I have one thing to add.
Yeah.
And I think it's super important that it's the perfect ending for this episode. And Tyler's probably going to want to steal this image.
Okay.
Okay. So out in the Vela constellation, 1,470 light years away from Earth.
Yeah.
The James Webb Telescope snagged probably the greatest picture to explain the understanding of the universe.
What the fuck?
This is real.
That's a question mark.
Right. Is there nothing out there that compares to this? This is the epitome
What the
Of-
hell?
of what
This
we
is
know.
Legit?
This is legit.
Where'd you get this?
I got it from Exemplore. It's a website. This is let's see here.
Wow. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, this is from the James Webb Telescope. It's the image of a ring nebula and its iconic dying star.
That is crazy.
It could be merging galaxies.
Dude, that's insanity.
That is from Matt Kaplan, assistant professor of physics at Illinois State University. He's told Space.com the two distinct features could be easily be merging galaxies in the background. And the upper galaxy could be being disturbed and disrupted tidally by the other one.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost like somebody out there saying, we don't fucking know.
Yeah.
That's
also-
nuts, man.
It also kind of looks like the Mario question box. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
Holy
is
shit.
it is legit, it is real, and it is the epitome of the universe as we don't know it. Can you imagine being the guy at the telescope looking out there like, man, I just don't know what we're seeing out here? And then you see that and you go, well, fuck, it doesn't know what we're seeing either.
Yeah. It has no idea.
Yep.
It's basically saying, sorry, boys, we can't help you either.
Yeah. So it's a
That
pretty
is
wild image.
Crazy. Yeah, here's a couple more I snagged. I think I accidentally uploaded one again. I did. There's one. Check that out.
Yeah.
That is crazy. And then here's another kind of a
Right.
dude. It's wild. Well, I guess that answers that question. We don't know. Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit. All right, you guys out there, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting this little show. I don't know what else to say. It's awesome. You guys are awesome. We appreciate it. And take care of each other out there.
Mwah.
See you guys.
A fucking giant question mark in the middle of the
Right.
universe.
That
Like,
is
seriously?
something like that.
There's like a giant space alien underneath the big radio.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass. That's not real. Come
What
on. don't-
if we can't see it? What if there's like a giant alien right underneath of it? And he's just thinking really hard about something. You know?
Right.
Like, are you saying like aliens have thought bubbles or something?
What if they do?